Well, I guess the starting point would be to take the intro business courses and B Corps 2000, which is the intro course that covers accounting. And then beyond that would be to take the 3000 level accounting courses. And it's kind of hard. There's probably no other way to learn about accounting other than in terms of courses except to take accounting courses. Generally, they have good analytical skills, and to be good at accounting, you need to be pretty good at detail. Enjoy being focused on details and be good at it. And one last skill that a lot of people don't realize is that in a lot of accounting jobs, you have to have a good, broad, overall knowledge of business. You're not just stuck away doing accounting, but you need to understand how the overall business works in order to be able to do the accounting for it. Well, we have one main organization that's Beta Alpha Psi that is a professional organization, and typically it'll meet one night a week. I think currently it's Thursday nights. And they have all sorts of functions with accounting firms and other industry firms that hire our graduates. And it's an honorary society, so there's certain requirements to get in and to stay in. But it's a great way to network and to learn about the opportunities in the profession while you're simultaneously taking your classes and learning about accounting. Well, there are huge opportunities for research in accounting, and sometimes we can hire, some of the faculty members can hire undergraduates to assist with that research. In general, they're analyzing how accounting information is used, how it's prepared, but more specifically, for example, we're doing some research, some of the faculty members are, on how managers make different business decisions in order to affect the income of the business, which goes through the accounting. And so some of this is through different activities they undertake in the business, but then others is different ways of doing accounting. So you engage in a transaction or you do something, and then there might be multiple ways to account for it, which would have an effect on income. Well, the accounting field is kind of unusual in that there's a professional certification, the CPA or the Certified Public Accountant, and many jobs require that, but you can also be an accountant without a CPA. Most other fields you either must be certified or there's no certification. By the year 2014, to become a CPA in the state of Colorado, you will need 5 years of education, 150 credit hours. Technically, you don't need a graduate degree, but for most students, if you're going to go to school 5 years, you might as well have a graduate degree. So in general, to be competitive in the future, you probably should get a master's degree. Well, there are a couple of things. In the accounting department, we periodically have information sessions that are about the profession and about the program here at the Leeds School. Outside of the school, the professional organizations such as the Colorado Society of CPAs, the American Society of Women Accountants, they often open their meetings to students, and so by going to these meetings, you can learn more about the profession, and occasionally they'll have mentoring opportunities, etc. Well, most, but certainly not all, of our top students, their goal is typically to get a job on the audit or tax staff of one of the large CPA firms. There are 4 worldwide international firms that are known as the Big Four. So for many students, that's their top goal. There are other opportunities in smaller firms, smaller national firms, and even local firms, some of which are very large. So one opportunity is what's known as public accounting, where you're working in a public CPA firm. Another opportunity is to work in what's known as industry. So you might be a staff accountant at an oil company or at a manufacturing enterprise, or perhaps working for a sports enterprise. And so those are probably the two most common opportunities. A third would be in the governmental sector, working for university or the state of Colorado. And then there are all sorts of, much less frequently used, but very interesting opportunities. For example, the CIA and the FBI hire accounting graduates because they need people to investigate white-collar crime, which involves money and requires an understanding of accounting. So some people find that an exciting opportunity. Well, the accounting profession lends itself much to internships for several reasons. One, the work is seasonal, because during tax season and audit season, which is in the winter, they need more work. So we often place students in internships during that period of time. And we have a very good relationship with many of the firms and have many of our students who do internships. The two skills, in addition to knowing the accounting, that you really need to succeed in the accounting profession is a good understanding of overall business, of all the functional areas of business, kind of the big picture. The second skill that a lot of people in school in accounting sometimes don't realize is that you need very good written and oral communication skills. People sometimes think that accountants sit at their desk and at a computer and work with numbers and play around with numbers, and there's some of that. But you're often interfacing and interacting with other areas of the business, doing budget presentations, and one of the biggest comments we get from the top managers of the CPA firms and the partners is that some students, many graduates, need more written and oral communication skills. So take as much writing as you can and get as much practice. You can talk to me. My name's Jay Ballantine, and there are typically at any given time two advisors within the accounting department who can give information. And Renee Hall is the other person currently who you would be able to talk to. There's a myth that you think of accounting as a bunch of numbers, and you have to be good at math to be good at accounting. Well, you have to be up to a certain level with math, but really the hard part about accounting is the business side, and that's why it's so important to have an overall good business background, because when you're recording information, the numbers part is easy. It's where and how to record it, which is often the hardest part. And all that accounting is, it's a way of communicating information about a business. We use a lot of numbers to do that, but we also use a lot of words, accounts, etc. And the second myth is that people think accounting is all cut and dry, but there are lots of subjective estimates and allocations that have to be made, because you may have to estimate how many of if you sell cars, what percentage of them are going to come in for warranty work? Or if you have a sell on credit, what percentage of your accounts are going to go bad and not be paid? And so all of these have numbers, but they're subjective estimates behind them. And so somebody in accounting has to be comfortable and experienced and have the expertise to be able to make those judgments. But it's a great field. There's lots of opportunity and many different ways to go in it, and it can be a very rewarding and satisfying profession.